Okay.
All right. I was on top of the world, flying higher than I ever thought possible. The thrill of it all was unbelievable, but part of me knew it wasn't enough. It's never enough for me. I know that about myself. Okay, I'm maybe still learning. For an immediate example, my raft is going down and all this shit is going straight to the bottom of the canyon. I was riding an incredible high after a morning market sales pitch that went incredibly well. And for no other reason than because I was just so fucking on today. Right up until now. Now I'm wet up to my shins, the front of my raft taking a dive, and the merchant barge drifting off around the corner. His cargo a bit lighter at the stern. I didn't plan on this, but sometimes the Veldt just reaches out to you and asks you to grab on. There I was, 17 elixirs sold and 15 gold pieces in my jacket, pushing down the canyon, when just around the horseshoe bend, I come up behind a barge with the tarp loose at the back and the two boatmen at the front, drunk, firing a somnium wand at the birds nesting along the canyon walls. I slipped up behind the barge and tied on, crept up on board undetected. At this point, I'm almost ready to snap and put my hatchet to them, if only because I was tenser than a headmaster's belt and feeling violently exuberant. I decided to let them live and felt I had done them a great favor. I start pulling boxes and crates, different sizes, but all of them heavy. Amontillado is stamped on that one, probably on its way to some baron's cellar, where it'll gather dust or become witness to some child servant's nightmare. Fucking pigs, all of them. Someday I'm gonna be rich like them. Guests to my manor will notice my worldliness and physical excellence. Talk about how Dr. Cumberbund Esquire is so wealthy and yet rounded out to the world, like a self-made man who somehow the Veldt could never touch. A young lady may venture from the dining hall after dinner and find me in my library. She'll ask about the beasts which lurk snarling from my walls. I've lived many lives, my dear, all of them dangerous. And she will blush, and we'll kiss. I'll pull her warm body to mine, and our hearts will beat in unison, faster and faster. Yeah, that's gonna be great. I just gotta learn when enough's enough. Maybe just too much weight at the front. Maybe if I had spent more time distributing the crates instead of just piling on all I could, I don't know. I'm grabbing a bottle of the fortified wine to take with me back to shore when crack! The bindings on the raft snap and it's time to swim.
All right.
So good.
Who's next? Any volunteers?
I can go, but mine's totally unfinished. I got about 3 paragraphs in and wasn't able to get any further this week.
All right.
But I'll give you a taste of what I had been working on. I was intending to put the prompt further on into it as well, so it doesn't even come up in these sentences. But cool. We all know what the prompt was. When the letter came, I immediately recognized the royal wax, purple and oozing at the edges. Thus, even before confirming the signet, my heart drummed and hands trembled. I already knew what was scribed within, or scribed within. The invitations had been arriving all week. I had heard it first from the usual attendees, the courtiers and the aristocrats, and patiently awaited my hard-won invitation to the Infanta's bris. I hardly wanted to open it, for who could bear to break such a beautiful seal, stamped with force and precision by his hand? And so it sat in the center of my bureau, a space usually reserved for my cartography work, pulling together the world in my office, a final composite from so many modeled drafts. And I fawned above the envelope, a world in of itself, cooing across the penned arches of my name, written by his royal hand, so precious I could not tear into it, but could not tear myself away. That week I got little done. With red cheeks, I admit I was distracted, something I rarely allow myself, both as a hunter and as a court attendant. I found myself idly admiring the envelope, each wire of its pulp more precious, the hem of its fold so precise, the weight of the stamp and seal. Everything about it was perfect, save for the smudges laid by that grease-fingered courier, devils take him. So lost in this dream, I almost missed the event entirely. As fate would have it, I finally cracked its seal and read the details within on the very morning of the day of the bris. And that's where I got.
Nice.
Does he get the invite?
He gets the invite.
Did he slide into the DMs?
He slides into his DMs.
Will you guys be sure to save these on the group folder so that people can check them out later?
Totally.
On this piece of paper, so that fans of the series.
So the fans of the series can take a deep dive into the world of.
We got Jerry's tale.
Jerry's tale.
Okay, I'll go ahead. I was on top of the world, flying higher than I ever thought possible. The thrill of it all was unbelievable, but part of me knew it wasn't enough. The women, the somnium-powered jacuzzis, meaningless status symbols, at least when compared to the power vested in true political influence. So I began rubbing elbows with the Veltland's elite by hosting fancy dinner parties. I demanded the best. Invitations were sent tied to the legs of endangered birds. Hors d'oeuvres were spiced with carefully pulverized somnium so that every bite yielded an explosion of flavor.
Oh, that's cool.
The coat check came with a pants check, and every pant checked included a complimentary blowjob. And of course, there was an after-hours high-stakes poker game, reserved for only the most cunning, the most rich, or the most foolish. It was in such a game that I wagered everything, my riches, my very reputation, in a vain attempt to impress and perhaps persuade Mr. Baron von Mueller into my corner. I had already won over some of the Baron's most trusted supporters, and given my non-existent pedigree, he decided to make an example of me. When it was over, he allowed me to leave my own estate, which now belonged to him, with only my shirt and pants. I collected my clothes from the aforementioned coat check without even getting a blowy. Before crossing the threshold of my gatehouse one last time, the Baron presented me with one last gift. A severed human hand, enchanted with the ability to seek out somnium, and a gruesome reminder of the riches and power that he stripped from me.
Cool.
Sick.
All right. Hold on, let me make this font bigger. Oh, that's this one word. Okay. I was on top of the world, flying higher than I ever thought possible. The thrill of it all was unbelievable, but part of me knew it wasn't enough. Even from that angle, in the flash of a glance gravity permitted me, I could see I was going to fall short. My arm extended towards a tree branch my mind knew was too far away to reach. The ground approached quicker than it ought to, and I felt my feet, then my knees, then my face make contact with the wet sand below. I groaned, rolling onto my side, just able to make out the hazy outlines of the figures on the cliff above. "Get her, you idiot," the short man bellowed. An outrageous command given in the distance, but said with the confidence of a man who was used to being obeyed. I briefly wondered if I should have played dead. Most people would have died from that fall. This was especially clear staring at the precipice I had been standing on moments ago. But no, I decided, they can't see me. I should have put it together then. It should have been clear that it was something, not someone that they were after. Why else would he have sent them after me? He should have assumed I was dead, so why follow me? It's easy to say that now, telling you this after the fact, but at the time, I did the only thing I'm truly good at. I lived. I mean, alive is better than smart, alive is better than tough, and it sure is hell better than pretty. I limped my way towards the nearest bush and did my best to crawl down inside of it. Alive is drawing your sword, alive is waiting.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Zang.
Zang. Zatarans.
Zatarans.
Okay, well, with those things in mind, I think we'll cobble together our little performance for the intro. And yeah, grab your gear, dudes.
You gonna play guitar?
I was gonna play the
He's nailed it, dude. So it's like dun 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 dun. Oh wait, I'll give me a couple of leads and we'll do hand flute solo time.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm Tiberius Herga, the fifth of my line, and I'll tell you what happened last week at this time. I stood on the shoulders of giants and saw what happens when men have no love for the law. For the guests of the Baron had entered our court, and their leader, the elf, sought to hunt us for sport. But we sprang from the shadows and made our attacks, and we landed those giants both flat on their backs. The rusty-haired elf's blood was spilled on the floor, while I safely observed from a high kitchen drawer. As my father, the king, made a plea for his life, I was snatched by the half-elf and put to the knife. After hearing our plea, he did open his heart, while a nearby young lady punched holes through the art. She was scouring the house for a swig of nasty tea, and the strange landscape she found stashed there three. And free solo. Outside near the boat, there was ongoing theft, as the luxury barge was stripped of its heft. And though I'm exhausted by all of this rhyming, I mention we don't know what happened to Simon. There was Langdon the elf with a scar through his eye, a bug up his ass, and a sword at his thigh. Jerry the prospector, pickaxe in hand, he's a gambling for dreamstones across the Veldt land. And Doc Petty Bogger with feather in cap, he'll sell you a potion, though it's probably crap. And lastly, the junkie they call Sideshow Steve, who apparently had a few tricks up his sleeve. Well, some goblins arrived on a crudely made raft, and one screamed to threats as he jiggled his shaft. So after a fight in the slippery great hall, Jerry destroyed a big section of wall. And not to be beat by the gray-bearded man, Cumberbund shot through the barren stone dam. Quick pan flute solo. Well, the rest I have run out of time to explain, so let's end all the pan flute and get to the game.
Nice.
Woo!
So, when we last left our heroes, they had fought some goblins and just generally caused a bunch of destruction in the Gladwell manor. And the image we were left with was Stephanie being revived from a somnium revelry at the top of the stone steps that lead to the second story of the manor. Excuse me. And yeah, that's where we'll start. And what's an easy way to do a turn order here? I guess we'll start with. Well, everybody just tell me where you are. And by the way, we're doing a very theater of the mind, thing tonight. Obviously, because I don't have my miniature set up. So I have some reference images, but mostly we'll just kind of be talking through it. So we know where Stephanie is. Let's do our little mini go round and have everybody remind us where they are currently. And we can start with Dr. Cumberbund.
So Blue, I was back by the front door, and we had just kind of finished fighting those goblins in the sort of doorway there, and they were all down, but the Chimerius and the little mice people were going to go get us somnium to fire from the cannon. So basically, I'm starting to think about bringing the cannon back up so that we could have them load it.
So to cap that, let's everybody give like a couple sentences that are like, this is our talking head moment. Like, oh, I don't know what's going on here, but I think I'm going to do this or that. So go ahead and do it in character there.
The Timerius and his gang of kobolds are going to bring up a little somnium for us to load this cannon to fight off these goblins. And I have a feeling either there could be more or maybe not. Either way, I want them to find the Baron's stash of somnium and bring it to us so that we can either load it or load it up in our pockets. So, yeah.
I hope you haven't forgotten about me, Trimerius Hergum, here on your shoulder.
Oh, hello, buddy. I almost forgot you were there, but fighting so bravely. You are still very soft after all.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, well, I'm banking on or clinging to the hope that the battle is over for now. In the meantime, I'm just here trying to piece together what's left of my boat in the aftermath of that huge lock breaking through. So my plan from here is just to tie up the boat, I guess bring any valuables inside, and hope that the worst is past.
Okay, Stephanie.
I'm at the top of the stairs, and I thought that Dr. Cumberbund had followed me, but maybe but now there's a cannon. I'm very confused as to what's going on. I thought the cannon got washed away, and that you had followed me up the stairs.
Yeah.
The cannon is operable, but it definitely got washed around. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, regardless, I'm just now coming to. I've been in this like dark sort of,
So as
nasty place.
as you get your wits back, in front of you at the top of the stone stairs is a heavy wooden door with iron banding, and it leads up to the stairwell, to the second floor. So.
Okay. I'm gonna go through it. Is it unlocked? I'm gonna try to go through it.
Yes, you pull the iron ring of the door and it creaks open slowly, and you see steps leading up. As you open the door, a cold draft rushes down and flickers the little lantern that's hanging, right next to the doorway, the other side of the doorway, and it extinguishes the lantern. And with that, I'm going to move to Langdon.
Terrified from the blast of somnium, or the somnium blast that destroyed the wall into the extraction chamber, and then seeing Jerry still mad on tea, Langdon fled and hid behind a giant painting and is now staring eyes to eyes with the original Duke. What was that? The original Count?
You are staring eye to eye with a grim-faced figure, and at the bottom you can see that placarded with the name Gerard Gladwell. And you can fairly safely assume that this is a portrait of the Baron's father that has been stashed away in the kitchen and covered with a silk sheet. And kind of the face has literally been turned to the wall.
Mm-hmm. Baron Gladwell, Senior, I can't believe how much we've disappointed you. Your whole manor catastrophized and destroyed and parceled down, and all I wanted to do was get rid of that lousy rat menace that's creeping through your walls. That's the least I could do for you, is maybe get rid of that menace and maybe be able to rebuild this keep back to its former glory. Perhaps one of my teammates would like to help me get this rat problem under control as a minor consolation to refitting this this manor.
So Langdon, you can gather anyways, and you know enough and heard enough that the Baron's father, Gerard, a stern figure, basically settled this area. That's the mythology anyways, and cut his barony out from the woods of that were filled with goblins and sort of, established himself there. And the Baron Gladwell, you don't know anything beyond that, but the young Baron inherited the barony from his father.
For sure. Okay, cool.
And so let's go back to the stairs where we find Cumberbund, the feather in his cap swirling as this cold draft rushes down the stairs, and Trimerius, with a squeak, ducks beneath his collar and climbs down into his breast pocket. His little ears poking up out of the pocket.
That's adorable.
So Cumberbund.
What's wrong, little warrior?
I don't know. There's a strange smell coming from upstairs. It's kind of nice, but also terrible.
I know how you feel. All right. Well, I'm going to have to take a look. I have to see what's going on up there.
All right. And then just announce when you're, announce your actions, since we don't have a visual here.
Let's see.
So you see stone steps leading upstairs through the doorway.
Okay.
And then you're also Stephanie is standing there.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna turn around, actually, go downstairs and get Langdon to follow. Here.
Go for it.
So
give us a little role play.
Go downstairs. Langdon, there's something strange happening up here. You better check it out.
Is it more drug-addled miscreants?
It is.
I think I've seen enough strange for today.
If there's danger up there, we've got to nip it in the bud and get back to the task at hand.
I'm gonna come out from hiding and peek out. And where's Jerry? Where's that sideshow woman?
She's upstairs. She's opened some funky door. It stinks.
It certainly does stink. This whole manor is rotting to pieces.
Langdon, as you emerge from the kitchen into the great hall, you get a better glimpse of just the kind of damage that has been done around here, and your mind is racing as you consider the implications of the vandalism that's happening.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to let her meddle around any further. Let's head on upstairs. Don't want to make this place any more ruined than it is, especially in the Baron's private quarters.
Jerry, from out where you're standing by the docks, you hear some commotion inside.
Okay.
There's loud voices in the great room.
All right. I'm going to finish tying off the boat, making sure everything's secure, and then I'll head back up to the manor and see what's going on.
All right. As you enter the room, you see Langdon and Dr. Cumberbund there. And Dr. Cumberbund has a squirming bulge in his pocket that's ducked down out of fear for the elf. Yeah. So let's go back to Stephanie, I suppose. Stephanie, the stone's for you.
What type of lantern is it? Is there a candle in the lantern?
Yeah, there's a little lantern, like a glass lantern with a candle inside, but it's extinguished.
I want to take the candle out of it if I can. I don't want to take the whole thing. I just want the candle.
Yeah, you can easily lift this lantern off of its hook on the wall, or you can remove the candle.
Okay, fine. I want to just take the candle. I just want to keep my options open.
Okay.
I want it for later.
So
All right. I'm gonna continue on towards the strange smell.
Okay, so as you walk up the steps, these heavy stone steps, they do have this red runner going up them, so your footsteps are muted as you walk up. And as you reach the top of the steps, it's dark up here. You can hardly see, but what you can see is a long, dark hallway, made further more dark and ominous by the, dark wood construction. And while you can't really see what's going on in the hallway, at the end of the hall, there's an open window with red curtains fluttering in the breeze, and moonlight pours in from the open window. And just below the windowsill, there's another candle there, kind of protected from the draft. And you can see the end of the hallway, but you can't really see from here to there. And
Okay.
Make a perception check for me, wisdom based.
Okay. I didn't actually grab my dice, and I don't know how that works, but I have dice now.
Okay.
So
go through it then.
Hold on. Or I think I do, because I have an old D&D starter set. Wow, I got dice for days. I'm going to pop this in. Okay. All right, what do I roll? Which one of these do I roll? Based on side numbers?
-1 wisdom. You're not very perceptive, but you're going to look down the hallway and see what you can see. So you roll a 20-sided die. Looks like that guy right there.
Okay.
And you're going to subtract
I got a 15.
-1 wisdom. What'd you get?
15, so 14.
Okay, so while you can't see what's going on in this hallway, you do see at the end of the hall, there's an open doorway on the left, to the left of the window. So
Okay. I want to
go
go.
the end of the hallway, and but I think that's going to be the end of your turn. Though we're going to move on to.
Okay.
We'll go to Langdon now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go heading up towards the towards where the smell's coming from. Going up the stairs, and is the door closed?
The door is open. Well, it's shut itself just under its weight again, but there's just a kind of an airlock door that at the top of the stairs before you kind of enter the next portion of the stairs, as it, that would be a stairwell open to the upstairs. You don't notice any smell, and neither of any of these characters. The smell was noticed by the very, olfactory,
Okay, gotcha.
astute kobold in Cumberbund's pocket. But you don't smell anything particular.
Okay. Well, come on now, Doctor. No time to waste. Was this the way that she went?
She went up through that door.
All right, I'm gonna fling the door open and go rushing up there.
Okay, you rush to the top of the stairs, and what kind of elves have low light vision, right?
Yeah, they have low light vision.
Okay, you rush to the top of the stairs, and you get to the top of the stairs and through those doors, and you see what I previously described to Stephanie. So you're now at the top of the stairs. You are at the end of the hall, and you can see the hall, and it's empty, but there's some kind of detritus in the middle of the hallway on the ground.
Cool. I want to go examine it.
Well, we're gonna move on. That's
Okay.
that'll be your movement. So we'll just get everybody to the top of the stairs now, I guess, and then we'll go back to Stephanie. Unless there's anything else anybody particularly wants to do, we'll just take it that way, I guess.
Before getting too far away, I guess I wanted to bring up my concern for the possibility of more goblins showing up.
Yeah. Give us some
And-
main character.
Okay. So I just walked in. Everyone else is upstairs except Cumberbund.
Yeah, you see them ascending the stairs now.
Okay. You guys, what was that? I like blacked out for a little bit. That was weird.
You're done. You're addicted, Jerry. You gotta quit.
Yeah, you went a little paramad there, boy.
Oh, that's all behind me now. Good. Do you think the goblins are gone for good? How are we doing on that cannon? The charge for the gun.
Well, the kobolds are supposed to bring more, but there's we've got a situation here with Stephanie here. She's still under the influence of the drug, and she's gone upstairs into the Baron's private quarters.
Huh. Well, I suppose we should track her down. Do you think?
Wait, she's still under the influence of the drug? I don't want to have anything to do with her. She almost killed me.
I mean, he may not know, but she's come out of her drug revelry. And so with that, we'll go to Stephanie. And Stephanie, are you walking down the hallway?
Well, people have joined me, right? I'm going to ask if anyone has anything that I can use to light this candle. Does anyone have anything I can use to light this candle?
Get her! Grab her!
Are you grabbing her?
Oh, I guess I'll grab her.
Yeah, I'll go for it. I'll grab her.
Okay. So Stephanie reaches out. Langdon reaches out to grab you by the shoulders.
Let's see. Let's see. A 13.
I got a 10 on my
Plus, Stephanie.
assist, so
Would it be a range? Would it be a touch attack?
I would think so. Yeah.
yeah.
So that would just be her.
Dexterity bonus.
Yeah. Well, 10 plus dex.
What's your dexterity modifier, Caitlin?
My what modifier?
Dexterity.
Okay, hold on.
Probably not.
What did it say? Oh, here it is. +2.
Okay, so Langdon grabs you by the shoulders and spins you around.
Cumberbund.
Or Cumberbund, rather, yeah. I don't know why I get them mixed up.
I got her.
Jesus, what the hell?
You're not in your right mind. You're high on drugs.
I feel fine. Let go of me.
What do you want to do up here? It's weird up here.
I just want.
It's scaring Timerius.
Listen, all I wanted was something to light this candle with so we can see where we're going. Or did you want to stay down there with the goblins?
Well, there's no goblins anymore, thanks to a certain few of us.
The goblins have been vanquished.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you don't know anything about that. You were high on drugs the whole time. Anyway, I don't think that we should be hanging out up here. These are the private quarters of the estate, and messing up the downstairs was one thing, but rummaging around up here could get us into an entire other mess. Our relationship with the count could be totally compromised from here on out if you find us up here.
I think your relationship with the Baron is fairly perilous already.
What was that?
Be quiet.
There's a small pink hand emerges from Cumberland's pocket holding what looks like a very old match in its hand, upward. Holding it like
All right, I bring a candle over to it.
it's not lit, but he relinquishes this match to you.
Oh, all right. Do I still have an action? Can I light the candle?
Yeah, just roll against a failure. Against a 1 and you light the match.
What do I roll? I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Just a d20.
Okay. All right, I got a 13.
Okay, you light the match and you light your candle. You'll have to keep.
All right. Do I see anything new? No, I don't see anything new.
You see that there's some what looks like a little shimmer of broken glass in a pool. It looks like further on the hallway there's a broken bottle on the ground.
All right, I'm gonna go towards the broken bottle.
You see a kind of a sticky stain and some broken glass in the middle of this hallway. Looks and smells like nasty there on the ground.
Oh man, I want to back away with my hands raised.
It looks like it's
and
kind of dried. You couldn't drink it if you wanted to, but
hold on.
yeah. And so
My action stand.
how about Langdon? Are you following her?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to follow her.
Okay.
I want to have a word with Dr. Cumberbund. Doctor, what's that in your pocket there?
It's little Timerius.
Oh, yes, the rat prince.
I am Timerius the Fifth. I am his ward. He has sworn to protect me.
Ah, yes, well, and you are very much worth protecting, my my little prince.
Thank you for your gracious words.
I just had no idea that that our associate here had such a big task to fill, protecting you. It just took me by surprise, is all, that he would be so honored to have to be able to serve you.
He pops down. He's kind of intimidated by what you're saying. He doesn't like your tone.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Are there more goblins must be on the way? It's only right to assume.
Tremere sniffs the air and he says, I don't smell any goblins. Well, actually, maybe I do smell a goblin. Something stinks up there. Could be a goblin.
Maybe we should take some precautions before more goblins take the initiative to show up. Could possibly set some traps.
I want everybody to make a perception check right now.
20.
I got 18.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Those of you with decent rolls, your ears prick up, and two little pink ears pop up out of Cumberbund's pocket, and they twitch. And there's a low moan coming from somewhere upstairs. Just a very faint sound of could be rustling wind coming through a keyhole, but there's a kind of a moaning sound for somewhere deep upstairs around the corner.
Timerius, is that where you smell the smell coming from?
Yes, something stinks up there.
I'm gonna
Houses too.
I'm gonna point to, come on, protectors, and I'm gonna pull out my sword,
Okay.
and kind of head off to that direction.
All right. So as you walk down the hallway, you crunch as you walk through the broken bottle of nasty tea, but you see it. You're not surprised by it. What's our walking order as we're going down the hallway? I'm assuming everybody's walking down the hallway.
Yeah, I'll probably be in the back.
So
I'm still really wounded from last time.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Me too, actually.
I have 1 hit point.
I have 4.
Nice, I have 6.
You'd like to? Does anybody have any? Well, anyways, it's nighttime, by the way. Sun's gone down. Things are dark. There's a fire downstairs, and there's bright, but up here it's just candlelight. So as you walk through, you go along, and there's these, dark wood hallways. You get to the end of the hallway, and you see out the door. There's a big, bright, full moon outside, and you can see. You can see the edge of the woods, and you can see the devastation that's been unleashed on the locks there. This big broken spot open. The Baron's bar just turned over and in splinters. The sail has been damaged and snapped. The mast is snapped on the boat, but other than that, the boat is undamaged. The little sailboat, and yeah, you can can see the moonlight reflecting off the river, and there's kind of a cool breeze, cool eerie breeze going through. So you're now all in this empty doorway, and it goes around and leads into another hallway running the opposite direction. And so, as the front of the line, we'll take Langdon at the head here.
Cool. I'm gonna keep going forward towards wherever that sound was coming from. Was it coming from a door or?
So you move around the corner there, and you walk forward, and I want you to make another perception check.
Okay. 21.
Okay. As you turn around the corner, and the candle's kind of shining from behind you because Stephanie's got a candle. Roll initiative, because you see a small form in ruddy armor with a spear pointed at you, another beside him with a rusty dagger. They're standing along the wall, kind of, just around the corner. And as you turn the corner, they're pointed at you. So you've got one action since you rolled good on your perception. So you've got an action here.
Great. I want to throw a somnium gem at them.
Okay.
And say grovel as my command word.
Okay. You throw the somnium gem at the what looks like a form of two little goblins that are waiting in surprise for you. And so roll a touch attack, I guess. You'll have advantage.
Second. A ranged touch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 19.
Okay. Give us your best command spell performance here.
So, grovel, lie at my feet and beg down before me.
So you throw the somnium gem out before you, and there's a little bright red puff as you do so. And in that light, you can see what you didn't see before was a little red velvet, like a little red rope kind of going around at their feet. And these are two wooden mannequins, basically. They're figures of goblins, and they're dressed in beat up, goblin armor and mounted with goblin swords, but they're not real.
Damn.
They're somebody's little decoration.
Can I inspect them closer up? Hey, Stephanie, hand me that fire. Or hold the
Where are
city
you trying
for
to
me.
look?
Hmm?
I want to hold it up for him. I'm not going to give it to him. We don't trust each other.
Okay, come on. Steady hands now. I know steady hands are hard for you, but steady hands.
You briefly are shocked by the form of these two little goblins, but you quickly realize that they're just crude wooden likenesses, and not actually goblins. And they're one of them holds a little goblin spear, the other has a big rusty dagger. They look very similar, the armament to the goblins you encountered before, and goblins you've encountered at other times.
Damn. Are there any markings on it? Are they are they well crafted or are they beat up?
The wooden dummies themselves are just like very, it would almost be like a museum piece, so they're carved, but they don't really have features, and they're just like there to kind of expo these two little sets of, goblin armor. And if you had a good guess, you might think that they were artifacts left over from the, the little goblin conflict back in the day, as portrayed in the in those paintings.
Gotcha.
Might be a trophy of the former baron. Would be a good guess, I'd say.
Well, is this the goblins that you were looking for there, little mouse man?
Yes, they do still cling with goblin stink, but I smell something down the hall. Something strange.
Strange like what? What is it?
Well, it does smell like a goblin, but also a little something fresh, floral.
A goblin is taking a bath.
Could it be that maid, that dirty maid?
As you look down the hallway, you see that this hallway long hallway again, there are 3 more doors, 2 on the right side of the hallway, and then 1 at the end. The 2 doors on the right are similar to the door you previously passed, and the one at the end is bigger and more ornate and is presumably the Baron's private bedroom.
The master bedroom.
I don't think we should be going in there for sure. Of all the places.
What could it hurt at this point? We've already blown a hole through his wall. We, all of us.
You've blown a hole through his wall. You've destroyed his paintings. I haven't done anything yet except defend his keep, and I want to keep it that way.
Hey now, I destroyed one of those paintings. I say we go to the bedroom.
That's what I said. I was telling you that you destroyed the painting.
Oh,
What's our
I'm sorry. I thought you were looking at Jerry.
So as you walk down the hallway, you approach the first door. Is anybody going to interact with this door? So the long hallway has 2 doors on the right, and then at the end of the hallway, straight forward, is presumably the Baron's quarters.
One door on the left then?
No door on the left.
Or just 2 doors on the right?
On the other side of this wall on the left is the hall you just came down.
Oh, okay.
Can I make a listen check at the first door?
Yes.
Or like a perception check?
Yes.
I want to listen for that sound, that whooshing sound. I got an 11.
You don't hear anything on the other side of this door.
All right, I'll go ahead and peek my head in.
Okay, you're gonna open the door.
Yeah.
Okay, you open this door, and inside you see a nice but simply furnished room. Looks like it's some kind of a guest room. It's got a neatly made bed, a large wooden kind of boudoir, and that's what you can see just peeking your head in. And there's also a window over on the other side of the room that is also open, and a curtain is kind of billowing, and a little moonlight's peeking in.
Did the Baron give us quarters that we would be staying in while we're here?
Not to date. He left before he could make any of those arrangements.
Okay.
I'll
Cool.
write in about it.
All right, that's all I'm up to in there.
Okay.
I'll close the door behind me.
And
I'd like to take the shaker's paw out and kind of hold it out in front of me to see if I notice any activity of it in front of the first door and kind of carefully approaching the second door.
Yeah, if you hold it up to the first door and the second door, you don't have any, response from your shaker's paw.
Okay.
Is anyone else gonna interact or enter this room or look at it any further?
I definitely want to take a peek in there.
Okay, you going inside?
Yeah, I've got the dark vision from Half Elf. Just that. Yeah.
Okay, what's your perception there?
17.
Okay, so
Oh wait,
you go
no,
in,
16.
You see, in addition to the things I mentioned that Langdon saw, you see 2 kind of little glints of moonlight. One bounces from under the bed, and another bounces over by the window. So you'll have to enter the room with the lights, well, you have to enter the room anyways to see, what's going on in any more detail.
What do you think, Langdon?
Well, it seems like a room to me. And just moon. I've seen the moon filtering through all sorts of trees, and I don't know. It seems like a room. Seems nice. If there's no danger up here, maybe I'll sleep in here.
You saw some little glint of something over by the window that you can't make out from where you are, and the same thing, a little glint of something from under the bed.
Is the wall of this room presumably adjacent to the wall of the second room?
Yes.
Can I search the first room to see if there's maybe like a cup or a glass or something I could use to sort of magnify the sound?
If you enter and you search the first room, it looks like guest quarters. If you open up the wooden kind of boudoir, chiffre closet thing, it's empty, but it has racks and hangers that you can hang your clothes on. There's an empty trunk at the foot of the bed, and underneath the bed you find a ornate and meticulously cleaned ceramic chamber pot with a golden rim to it. like a really nice little, night soil depository.
Nice.
And then over by the window, there is the moon was shining off of a brass spyglass mounted on long wooden legs, and it points out the window and over the river.
Can I, without touching the spyglass, can I see where it was pointing at, like by looking through it?
Yeah. So make a perception check related specifically to looking through the spyglass here.
An 11.
So as you look through the spyglass, you can tell that it's a little bit out of focus. So it's hard to see through it.
Okay. I'm going to try and adjust the focus without moving where the spyglass is pointed.
Okay. You kind of, zone in and focus this spyglass by adjusting, pulling it back and forth. And things come into focus. You can see pretty well through this thing, and it does aid your perception over far distances. You can see the river kind of winding back through the trees, and you can see very far off down the river the light of some kind of craft, presumably slowly making its way upriver, but it's a ways off. You're not,
Would that be meaning like it's heading our direction?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you also notice on the other side of your field of vision through this thing, far off into the woods, there is underneath the moon a small billow of smoke rising and a faint glow from somewhere off in the woods.
Okay.
Those are the two kind of markable details that you notice.
Langdon, come tell me what you make of this. I'm gonna have him look through the spyglass.
Cool. Can I make a perception check to see if I can notice any sort of distinguishing features on the boat?
Yeah. And do you have like survival or something?
Yeah, I do.
You don't notice any other details. You just see something. You're just presuming that it's a craft because it appears to be on the river and far off, and
Okay.
very slowly. And you can't even see it as a boat, but you just presume that it is a boat. It would be logical anyways. But you do notice from the smoke, it looks like there is some kind of camp deep in the woods or some settlement or something. And you kind of can roughly approximate the location of it from where you are.
Great.
You don't suppose that's the Baron raft returning, do you?
It didn't look like his raft, and I couldn't save any markings that I saw upon it. But it would be good to keep our eye on this raft, like maybe check in on it a few more times throughout the night, or at least get our stories straight before he does arrive.
Okay, and how about who needs to turn here? So who's in that room right now? It's me, Langdon, and Jerry, and
I want to follow them in because I don't think I would just stay standing in the hallway. So I wasn't going to, but after seeing everyone else walk in, I followed them into the room.
Okay. And yeah, as far as the little cup you're talking about, Jerry, there is that the chamber pot there. And it looks like it's been cleaned. It hasn't got much of a rind on it.
I'm going to take that and press it up against the wall, and then Dr. Cumberbund, maybe your little friend with the keen ears can hear something.
Pull him out and put him
Okay.
up next to the pot.
He puts his ears up to the pot. And he's good. He says, "Oh, there's an odd smell on this." And then he says, "There's something in that room. I can hear it. Someone or something. Sounds unnatural." And if you listen carefully, you can hear from the other room and kind of and like some like kind of shuffling.
Well, maybe we should put together some sort of plan. I don't know if I'm quite prepared to face any more goblins.
Yeah, I'm about ready to pass out here. I'm feeling a little under the weather. I got a few wounds here.
Cumberbund, do you have any of your special elixirs, perhaps?
I've got one. I'll split it with Jerry. I'll drink, so it gets 2d6. So I guess we can each get a d6.
All right, I'll allow it. Yeah.
Oh, 5. Nice. I got 6.
Nice.
Okay, so you guys down a potion together, crack a cold one with the boys, and
With Dubois.
Dubois. And yeah, you guys are just chilling out in the room. Who's making a move next here?
I do want to say that that encampment, it could possibly be nothing. Could be a ranger out on the out there, but the fire seems pretty large. It could also be a nearby goblin encampment. It might be advantageous for us to take a first strike now that you two have gotten your wits about you again.
Okay. I propose that we need to figure out what's going on in this room next door and get that secure. But then I think we should really make preparations in the front of the manor in case it is another band of goblins.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Something doesn't smell right. There's something in there.
Okay,
Well-
so maybe who has ranged weapons?
I do.
I do.
Same.
I do, technically.
Okay. I guess I'll use my. If you guys are ready, I guess what I'll do is I'll use my pickaxe to break open the door and hopefully surprise them. And
Hey
then
Woody,
ranged weapons.
Yeah.
what's the can I look out the window to see if there's another window next door?
Yeah, you peek your head out the window and you can see it. It appears, you can presume it's a fairly similar room. They seem like maybe there's 2 guest rooms here upstairs, and you can see there is another window over there. Yes.
Is the window open or is it closed?
It's open.
Cool.
There's a little bit of curtain wicking out with the wind every once in a while.
We could have the window over there is open. They might be able to hear us, and I'm gonna shut our window.
All right, so you can close the wooden shutters and pull the drapes if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. You close it, and yeah, you'll have to move the spyglass out of the way there.
Is it nicer than my spyglass? I have one as part of my cartographer's tools.
It's at least as nice as your spyglass, yeah.
I'm gonna trade
I'll
spyglasses.
tell you out of game that if you use this for a sight, and not like close up, but like a perception check related to sight, it'll give you a +5 to your attempt.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna switch the spyglass I have with that spyglass.
Okay.
Do a quick trade.
So you swap it out. It looks pretty similar. Yours is a little bit shittier, actually.
Now that it's on the stand, you're good.
Now that you see it out there, you're like, oh yeah, mine was kind of rough and old. This one's nice and new.
I don't think anyone will really notice.
All right, Stephanie, what are you doing?
I want to, I don't know. Hold on. Let me think. Stephanie's got to think. I want to like kind of peek the blinds open on the shutters that Langdon just shut and see if there's a ledge there or anything that someone could stand on. Could I get to? Anyway, I could get to the other window is what I'm trying to figure out.
So we've got this kind of beam and plaster construction, and oh, my mouse isn't working. And I'll try to straight here.
We
like,
could
my mouse. You could. Oh, no, wrong program. Just a second.
we could use the if it's beam and plaster, we could probably use the drapery as like a way to hold ourselves up and like either swing over or like sort of shimmy ourselves over.
Well, basically, there's a little beam going across, underneath the window from that one to there. There's about like 6 or 7 feet, but someone could potentially, without, if they were a skilled climber, they could climb across and maybe hold themselves up and peek in the window. Or possibly there could be something like Langdon is describing by like kind of, you might be able to swing by the drapes if they're sturdy enough.
I want to try to see if I can get out there and then peek in the window.
Okay, well, we're gonna have
The
you make a
other window.
climb attempt then. So you'll use your d20, and we'll do.
What I'm going to suggest first that we tie you off using the rope I have in my pack. That way,
Smart.
if you fall,
Good idea.
you don't die.
You could probably secure your rope to the bedpost on this, 4-post bed.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll tie it off then.
Do you have climb specifically as a skill, Stephanie?
I'm sorry, say again?
Do you have climb specifically as a skill?
It'd be under athletics.
Okay, well then we'll just call it strength, and you'll make a strength check as you climb.
Woody, climb is in athletics.
In athletics. Do you have athletics as a skill, Stephanie?
Nope. I mostly just hide from things, it appears.
Yeah. Well, we'll just make a strength check then, and you're rolling against a 12 to successfully climb over and not lose your grip.
No, I lose my grip. I get an 8, including my modifier.
Okay, so Stephanie gets a little bit out there, but she slips and her grip goes loose and she falls and gets caught by the rope. So let's do a kind of post check of we'll just do a check to represent both tying the rope and keeping a hold there, Jerry.
Okay.
So
you want me to tie it?
Against a 12, you can use whatever modifier you think is relevant and to see if you can catch her without her getting hurt.
Okay. Well, do you want me to roll for the actual use of the rope, or am I rolling for like the strength of like?
I want to
catching her
make it
and
a
pulling her down?
combined check. So let's just say that it's
Would rather dexterity or strength?
yeah, either
Okay.
one.
All right. I think I have the same modifier for both. I think both those are +2. So.
Just for the sake of expediency, I want to make it.
All right.
Check, yeah.
I got a 12.
Okay. So you fall and there's a little creak on the rope, but she catches and you're a hardy old bird, so you get the wind a little squeezed out of you, but you're fine, Stephanie. You're dangling there, kind of swinging in front of the window, looking through. You're dangling over this.
All right, Cumberbund, help me get her back up here.
All right.
So you guys haul her back up, and she takes the place at the windowsill again. Down for another try.
I don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, they've probably heard all the commotion. If there's anyone perceptive enough in the other room to.
I'm not sure anyone on the other side of the room that really has their wits about them, I'd say. Sounds like a lot of wailing and.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll give it another go.
I say try again. That was pretty exciting.
Make a check, Stephanie. Roll
All
again.
right.
Roll.
Oh, I got an 18.
Nice.
All right, so you resolve, you kind of, rub your hands together, get them all chalked up or whatever on some plaster from the wall, and you slowly creep edge over edge, and you make your way out, and you now beneath the window, you need only pull yourself up to peek inside.
Which will be an 18.
All right.
Is that another strength check?
No check. It's just it's up to her. I mean, I'm considering that she already made the check, but it's just whether she wants to pull
Okay.
up inside or not.
I wanna just try to peek my eyes above the window and just look at the room, see what I see if I can see anything.
All right. It's a dark room as you peek up, and you're kind of semi-obfuscated by the blinds, but you peek up, and inside, through the little bit of moonlight you can see, there is deep in the room, and you're shocked to see a strange kind of ghostly form. Just a second, I have a description here. You see a spectral figure. It kind of is undulating, up and down in there, and it's almost glowing in the moonlight, and looks kind of like a classic ghost, like a willowy sheet or almost lace-like, and there's this, it's kind of shuffling around in there, and there's this like sound coming from in there.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the original window. Do I successfully do that, or is there anything?
Yeah, let's make another climb check. We'll give you advantage on it because you've already done it. So you roll your d20
Alright.
twice and take the better roll.
I got an 11. Oh, wait, roll it twice. Is that what you said? Yeah. Okay, and a 12.
Okay, you managed to get back without falling and pull yourself into the window.
Guys, it's a fucking ghost.
I've never seen a ghost.
Ghosts aren't
It's
real.
a ghost. It's here.
Goblins are real. Giant sloths are real. Ghosts aren't real.
It's a ghost.
I just go by what I've seen, all right?
Oh dear! Tiberius is shaking and he ducks into the pocket and you can feel his little heart beating against yours there, Cumberbund. It's probably the ghost of the Baron.
The Baron's still alive. Oh,
Not that Baron, the old Baron.
my liege.
The rumor has it he met an untimely death.
There's something strange in this neighborhood.
I'm gonna go walk into the other room.
Okay, so you exit, you go out in the room and you just prop the door open.
Yeah, I'm just gonna open the door and kneel to the Baron as soon as I enter.
You open the door and inside you see this hazy figure in white, and are you like swinging the door open, or are you like trying to be subtle about it?
Kind of swinging it open, yeah.
All right, you burst it open, and as you do, this figure lets out a big wail and bolts straight up in the air. And as it does so, you see that the kind of hazy white shroud, it looks more clear. We'll make a perception check, actually. I want you to
Sure, yeah. 24.
Okay. So
My perception is really good.
what understandably is a ghost, as you enter this room and the light comes in, you see a set of very dainty women's petticoats kind of shoot up into the air like lacy white undergarments, and underneath it you see a familiar form of a goblin with his tool in his hand, and he's going, ah!
Ah!
And it looks like he was you caught him in the act, basically underneath these. You basically caught him in the panty drawer. That's what I'm saying. And as he sees you, he screams and starts to run towards the window.
Cool. I'm gonna try to tackle him.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a touch attack on him, I guess.
12.
Yes, so you touch him, and now what do we do? Oppose grapple here?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, let's do it. Ooh, he rolled really badly.
I got a 19.
As you go to get him, he trips and falls, and he bumps his chin on the windowsill, and some hot blood shoots out of his mouth. He goes, "Get the fuck away from me! Get me!
Jerry, bring your rope.
That's mine! That's mine!" And he starts grasping at this undergarment. He's pulling these bloomers, these petticoats towards him.
Oh, I let him. I'm gonna grab one of the petticoats and shove it in his face.
And all of a sudden, you're hit with a realization of the mix of smells that this little creature was describing. There's kind of this nice perfumey smell coming off of this undergarment, and then there's the kind of rotten smell of the goblin mixing with it.
Jerry, your rope.
I'm gonna bring the rope in, and Cumberbund, you need help him hold the goblin still while we tie him up.
All right, I'm gonna grab him. This is what you were smelling, wasn't it, buddy?
Oh.
Okay, so I'll take my time and wrap him up nice and tight. And actually, is there a chair in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll tie him to the chair.
Okay, you can tie him to the bed anyways, yeah.
Okay, we'll tie him down.
And I should also mention that, since you had such a good perception check there, Langdon, you noticed that this goblin, he's got pretty typical goblin clothing from what you've seen. He's got some, nasty old leather and whatever, but he's got some kind of nice necklace around his neck.
Nice. Once he's all tied up, I'm gonna ask him about the necklace.
Hey, come on.
Where'd you get this? Did you steal this from the Baron?
Finish here.
You steal this? You steal shiny from the Baron? Is that right?
This belongs to me. This is mine.
I'm gonna grab the necklace and pull it off of him.
Okay, so you have in your hand, there's a silver chain pendant, and it terminates in a carved scrimshaw locket, and you can make a survival check to identify the ivory.
Oh, nice.
You may have such skills as a ranger.
I got a 20.
Okay, so you you've noticed, you've encountered this ivory before. Specifically, it's similar to the, well, you can tell that it's likely Danish hell pig tusk. And it's ornated with a little silver trim, and it's in two parts. It's kind of in the shape of a little heart, you know?
Can I pop it open?
You pop it open, and inside there are two small frame likenesses, one of a kind-faced hunter, and opposite a beautiful dark-skinned maiden with silver hair, and inscriptions below them read Reinhardt and Gloria.
I'm gonna, where'd you get this, you little piece of shit?
I found it. That's mine. Get out of here. Let me finish. I'll finish. I don't care. You can watch.
Oh, we'll get you finished, all right. Finish you right to your grave. Right, boys? Well, now what do we do with
Why
him?
don't we just hang him out the window?
We could hang him out the window. I'd like to get some more information out of him.
Work him over.
I'm not telling you shit.
Let's work him over.
Yeah, I don't really want to hear anything more he has to say. You know, I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna throw him out the window. I'm gonna tie him around the neck. I'm gonna throw him out the window.
Whoa, wait. What about the other goblin camp? We could throw him out when we're done.
Grizz,
And I say this in Elvish so that he hopefully can't understand me.
you wait till Grizz gets here.
Where is he? Where is he coming from? Is he
Oh.
so scary.
He's coming from the camp. He's gonna come. He's gonna fuck you up.
Perhaps that was the camp we saw in the looking glass.
Where's your camp? Is it due east of here?
Where's your camp?
I'm gonna give him a real firm backhand across the face.
All right, make an attack roll. At advantage.
Okay, so I got a 23 on the first one and a 17 on the second one.
All right, so you smack for a D4 of damage there.
Or D4. Yeah.
4. Well, I guess plus strength. 6.
Oh, that was a good one.
A 6?
Well, if it's plus strength, right?
Yeah, okay.
You go, oh, that was a good one. Wrap your hand in the panties and do it again.
He looks like he's
Still
not
not
passed
really
out though. He's really hurt by that.
I don't know if we're gonna get any more information out of him. I'm not sure
Fine.
what more I can do without just
The goblin starts
destroying.
spitting blood at you. I'm making a touch attack against all of you here. He fails. He's trying to spit blood, but he just kind of spits it all over himself.
Who's Grizz, you little dirty monkey?
Grizz. Grizz is gonna get you.
And what does Grizz do?
Oh, you know what he does.
And at that, I'm gonna poke one of his eyes out with my rapier.
Oh god. Okay, making it. So as you're gonna. I mean, if you want to do that, he's incapacitated. You poke him through the thing, and he, in a shriek, he falls limp on your blade.
All right, let's get rid of him.
That kill him? Is he dead?
He's dead.
Well, not
That's
as
what you wanted, right? Well, I guess he's gone now.
So
I bet that is the goblin camp out there.
Did we confirm last time that the leader goblin that we did kill was not Grizz?
I think
Probably one of the dying words of one of the goblins was "Grizz is gonna fuck you up" or something like that.
That did happen, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever
So, and that was when I killed the lead goblin who was like messing with his junk.
Okay. So we can probably assume that, if we're going to prepare for the worst, I would assume that camp we saw from the distance was a goblin camp. And that boat is, in one way or another, it's either the Baron or it's going to be more goblins.
Yeah.
So we should maybe try and fortify the front end of the estate here for either scenario.
Yeah, I agree.
it seems pretty obvious that there's going to be more of these little guys.
And do you still have the locket then, Langdon? Are you keeping that?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
Okay. Did you share with the rest of the group what you saw there?
Yeah, I'll let them all know that I think this locket belongs to Reinhardt, or at least one of the Reinhardts, because it's got his name inscribed in it.
Yeah, it's definitely a little portrait of a young
And
Reinhardt, and
now Reinhardt was the proprietor of that place we all met up at.
oh yeah, I should fill in Stephanie. Reinhardt was another kind of local, a significant local figure. He owns a big kind of public house, tavern and trade post along the river. That's kind of where things started for this adventure. And he was a great hunter, and he famously has a Danish hell pig mounted in his bar, like a bust of one. And there was drama with you guys, I think you guys might be able to call, so you guys should explain it, so I'm not doing in game here.
Yeah, so you could kind of infer that there was maybe some tension between Reinhardt and the Baron. And at some point, before we left Reinhardt's establishment, we saw Reinhardt's daughter leave with the Baron. Wasn't it the Baron?
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then shortly after that, there was a goblin attack on the public house. And once we dispatched all the goblins, all of the town guards who are under the Baron's control just up and left. So.
Yeah, so it's beginning to get a little suspicious. I wonder if there's some sort of turf war here that really has little to do with the goblins and more so to do with Reinhardt and the Baron's feud. Do you think maybe? What are the chances of a random goblin coming across that locket? Do you suppose maybe Reinhardt used it to pay off the goblins, or as part of a payoff to get the goblins to attack the Baron?
Could be that the goblin has hands all over this place, all over this room. Could be that the Baron had it and the goblin just came across it.
Could be. Or I wonder if it was in the possession of Reinhardt's daughter, and maybe that's where the Baron left in such a hurry to go come to her aid.
The other thing to consider, I think, also, is if the goblins are working for the Baron, then did he just try and get us all killed?
Oh, yeah.
Leaving us alone while a goblin attack was imminent? Another thing to consider.
Can I look at the petticoats and see if there's any sort of monogram inscription on them?
Yeah.
Or I want to look at them and see if there's any sort of inscription, like a monogram or a name set into the tag or something.
You don't find that any evidence of who the owner is, but it's fairly safe to assume you think that, given the fact that darker skinned individuals are, kind of rare in the Veldt and it was mentioned at one point that Reinhardt's, wife had dark skin. That this little locket set, it's not unlikely that it belongs to Francesca, the Reinhardt's daughter, who you witnessed in kind of after they had a big fight, in a dramatic kind of teenage angst kind of way. She was seen leaving with the Baron and traveling upriver, downriver, whatever.
It's also peculiar that when the Baron left, he didn't leave any of his own people, his own guards or anything to look after his estate.
Suspicious, all right.
Especially in Goblin Country, who would leave a place like this unattended.
This is Goblin.
Maybe we should go check out his room for other clues. This has got me thinking.
Yeah, I mean.
Also, you've already robbed him, so might as well.
Okay, let's go check it out.
All right, so as you exit this room and you move down the hallway, there's a little itch in your pocket there, Jerry. Your shaker's paw starts dancing.
As we're approaching the Baron's quarters?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my shaker's paw never lies, and it's telling me right now there's somnium in there.
Oh, we're definitely going in.
It could be booby trapped though. As you might recall, somnium is quite volatile.
True.
I think we should use the rope to yank the door open from a safe distance.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah, if possible, I guess. I guess.
Yeah, Woody, is it a pull or a push rope? Our door.
A push rope. It's a push. You're pushing rope. That's for sure. It's a big reinforced door. It looks, it looks heavier than some of the others, but it looks like it pulls outward, and it's got a wrought iron handle, not dissimilar, but with more embellishment.
Okay.
And it is locked.
Let's. Does anyone have any lockpicks?
I do actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a thieves kit from being a. Let's see.
While he fusses around with that, Langdon's gonna go take a piss.
Okay, yeah, me too.
I really thought you meant in game.
Thieves tools.
Okay. So we'll have Cumberbund pick the lock, and then maybe we can, with our combined strength, tie off the rope and yank the door open.
Would anybody like a beer?
Yeah, I'll take one.
We're not serving you here. So we're not serving you too much here.
You can finish your video about the unboxing and assembly of that table.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
there it is.
Wait, hold on. Sweet.
Yeah, it's just a table. It's not a. There's the screen. That table.
Nice. New place looks pretty nice. Pretty sweet.
Oh, it's super nice.
Yeah.
We got it. Did I tell you that it's discounted because there's a restaurant fan, industrial fan right above it.
Oh,
So you can always hear a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is your rent cheaper because of that?
Totally. Yeah. So we're in this really, really nice building, and it's just like you can hear a fan. Like, get over it. But the last woman canceled their lease because of it, so they hella discounted the unit, and it just sounds like a fan. And I get to live here for $500 cheaper a month than everyone else in the building. Which also means that everyone else in the building is 30, dual income, no kids. But it's fine.
Dinks.
It's only a little kid. Yeah, totally.
So you get to hobnob with the dinks. As fun as that sounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm living with the dink.
Nice.
Just creeping in there as a 25-year-old.
Christmas with the Ding.
Christmas is the jinx.
Okay, so what's the plan of attack here, guys?
Okay, so Cumberbund is going to use his thieves' kit to attempt to pick the lock, and
Okay.
then we are going to tie the rope off to the wrought iron handle of the door. And is the door like where? Oh, this is a long hallway. It's a second door, but across from that door, is it just a wall?
It would be another window on the far side of the hallway across from this door. So like you came up the stairs, you went down the hall, and there was a window. You turned the corner, and basically there was a mirror, going the other way. So one hall
Okay.
went down that way, and then it cut back in, and then the end of this hall is the
Well, I
door.
guess mainly I just want to know if it would be feasible for us to pull open the door with the rope from one direction or another. Like if there's a hallway, does the door swing out that way? Does it swing out this way?
Yeah, you could just pull it straight out, it would
Okay.
open up, presumably if you could open pick the lock. and
Okay.
everything.
The idea being we want to stay clear of the door opening in case there's an explosion.
You could duck into one of the rooms, maybe.
Okay.
It's a long hallway too, but
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll at least stay clear of the any potential immediate danger zone.
okay. So is Cumberland
Yeah. He's done using the chamber pot.
And so, are you all going to be on the rope as he's picking the lock, or are you where are you placing yourselves here?
I thought probably have Langdon help me pull the door open.
Okay.
That's another, I guess, point of the rope. Both be tugging on it.
Okay. So you get Cumberbund's going to be up picking the lock, and Stephanie, where are you? You're holding the light for him.
Yeah, sure, but kind of from behind.
Okay. So we're going to form kind of a D&B formation here.
Wait, who am I? Am I the one with the hammer in this example?
No. You are the one in the blue shirt.
With the messed up
Oh,
face.
blue shirt. Got it. Beautiful.
Who, yeah, has maybe seen a beating or two in her life.
A little sideshow babe.
All right.
Alright.
There we go. So she's holding a light for you, and Tiberius is going like this. He's plugging his ears as you're doing this.
Okay, so we're having you pick the lock,
Okay.
and then and Stephanie's holding the light for you, and then once you think it's picked, you guys get out of the way, and Langdon and I are going to tug it open
Okay.
from a hopefully relatively safe distance of booby-trapped.
Yeah, makes sense. So what?
So what would the skill be to identify if the door is cracked?
Probably it would be a search check.
Search perception.
Okay.
Perception.
Make a perception check then.
Let's see. 11.
All right, so you're looking down in there. You can really tell what's going on inside of this lock.
Uh-huh.
Hold the light better, Stephanie.
Bring that light over.
All right.
Here
Here you go.
Tiberius jumps out of your pocket and he runs down your sleeve and he peeks his head in the slot and says, "I think it's trapped."
All right. Is the lock? Is it gonna go off if I pick it?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Seems like magic though. It smells like somnium.
Hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna probe around. Use one of my probes to feel if I can feel anything unusual.
Prod around in there.
Let me just kind of wiggle it around.
So you're gonna have to make a lockpick check, basically, whether you can circumvent the strap or not.
Yeah.
It's gonna be against a 15.
So this is gonna be, let's see, just like a straight dex check, or
Usually it would be a skill check, but let's
I'm not seeing it.
consult 5e here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I
I've got-
remember it was a specific skill in 3rd edition. I know we're not really going off that.
Yeah,
Can't even
there
remember
was
what
a
we used to pick a lot.
skill, but I think dexterity is safe to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll call it a dex check.
Yeah, maybe like sleight of hand or something. I don't know.
We'll just do straight dex if you know anything different, and you won't get a penalty for not picking lock tools. You know, you wouldn't be able to make this check if you didn't have lock tools.
Uh-huh.
So you don't get a bonus, but you can do it.
What am I shooting for? 15.
15.
That's 15. Risky.
Oh,
Well, just because you failed to pick the lock doesn't necessarily mean you're going to set off the trap. I imagine. I imagine if it's trapped, it's going to take some more momentous action to.
For the
set
sake
it
of
off.
it, for the sake of expediency here, and just to for simplicity's sake, I'm saying that if you successfully pick the lock, you will not set off the trap, and you will open the door. If you don't succeed, you will set off the trap.
Okay.
Well, it looks delicate. Maybe we could just set off the trap intentionally from a distance with the rope.
You want to just try and force the door open?
the suspense
But
is
isn't somnium explosive? Wouldn't we waste all the somnium that was in there if we set off the trap?
Well,
True.
yeah.
The whole room could blow, I guess.
Was if there's a window to it though, maybe we can get in through the window like we were planning to in the other one.
True. Good idea.
This window's not going to be as accessible as the other one. You have to basically climb around the corner of the building and get to the other side. It's going to be a much more difficult climb. If there are windows over there, which you don't know for sure.
All right. I want to go and I want to pull out Timerius and say, what do you think, buddy? Can you get inside the other side of the door?
I believe in you. Pick the lock. I can help you. I'll look in there for you.
So with Trimerius' help, we'll give you a bonus with him peeking in there and guiding you.
A bonus or
A bonus.
Bonus.
Give you a +3 bonus.
+3 bonus. So that's a +6.
I'd say go for it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to give it a shot. Ooh. 13.
15. Okay, you run around, there's a little click, and Trimerius squeals. And he jumps away up your shirt pocket, and there's this kind of like, almost a sound like a hiss, almost like a fuse going down. And then all of a sudden there's a bright flash, whoosh, like that. And nothing really happens beyond that. But when you go to like move your lockpicks, you see that there is no longer a lock on the door. It is just basically all turned into, like, it's all a solid piece now. And including the lockpicks, they're like fused in with it. They've been like, it's all like, there's no longer a functioning lock. It's all like one solid piece of something.
It's magical, right? It's all
And
fused
basically
together.
remove lockpicks from your inventory now. They're fused in there with the
Dang, I just got these.
This is my first time using these.
And Sam, you recognize this as some sort of state change magic, you know, like the workings of the lock have been transmuted into another material, usually like probably using some little somnium cache on the other side that was, you know, for lack of a better word, programmed to do that if the lock was trapped.
Guys, I don't mean to state the obvious here, but what we're looking at is state change magic.
Well, was that all the somnium that was inside? Check with your paw. Was that it? Did that exhaust it?
The sugar's
It's still pointing in there, yeah.
No, there's something in there. And if nothing else, we could definitely use that somnium, repurpose it to fortify the mansion here against any future goblin attacks.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm gonna go downstairs and outside and check to see if there's windows on that wall.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask one of the Stephanie or Cumberbund or Jerry. Will one of you stand watch out at the wall and just let me know, just so I know which way I'm going?
Yeah.
I will.
Out of the wall. What do you mean?
Well, like at the window, so like when I go outside, I can go see who's at that window and know that I'm on the right side of the building.
Basically, if you remember our map from before, it would be I don't know if it was different for you guys. It would be basically the corner nearest the river is going to be where the Baron's bedroom is located.
Okay.
And if you go out front there, you can see, right underneath, basically, there's a big hole in the wall where it's been blasted by, that harquebus shot. And
right
up there, you can see a barred window leading into the Baron's bedroom.
Well, shit. I guess the only thing we could do is maybe shoot it out. I'm gonna go back up there and let them know that it's the window's barred from the outside. But the harquebus is still down there, and I've got a couple pieces of somnium if we just wanted to blow it out.
Well, we do run the risk of setting off any cache of somnium that would be on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
Do I have, this is off game, but I was sleeping with the Baron. Do I have any sort of insights into his bedroom setup?
There's a good chance that you've been in the bedroom before, yeah. And you know the layout basically. Like you've been in there, yeah, but you were also kind of under the influence and stuff, and
all right.
you really have insight of how to get in now. That there was a key to the bedroom, of course, and you know that this is not the only entrance to the bedroom. You do know that. There was an unexplored room downstairs that, basically, here's the better answer to your question, Stephanie. You know that there's two entrances into the Baron's room. There's this door in the hallway, and there's also, he has a private elevator that goes up to his bedroom.
All right.
And you do know where the entrance to that is downstairs. It's a room that's off the kitchen. It was the only room that you guys didn't really explore last time.
Mm-hmm.
So somnium extraction chamber?
Not the somnium extraction chamber, but it was just below that, but
right.
Adjacent to that.
Okay. Well, I wanna fill everyone else in on that. There's another way into the room. He has a private elevator down by the kitchen. We could give that a shot.
Well, why didn't you say something before?
I'm nasty brain, can't trust me.
So are you guys going down to that pantry room?
Yeah, let's go down there. I would say just to make, for the time being, a more effective use of our time, maybe we split up. Let's split up, gang. And I'm gonna ask Cumberbund to help me move, get the gun positioned at the front door and maybe lock the somnium chamber that's been broken open. And I also want to move that somnium engine into our boat.
Okay.
And position the boat. If I remember right, isn't there kind of a big staircase that goes down to the water?
Yes.
Kind of at the bottom of that staircase, almost to obstruct the path, but we're also going to have the somnium engine in it. We're going to point the gun from the entrance of the manor down to the boat.
Okay. So we're splitting up here. Cumberbund and Jerry go down to the docks.
Yeah.
And you're grabbing and riding the harquebus. And just tell me again what you're doing with that.
We're basically moving the gun up to the manor,
Okay.
to the front of the manor.
The front
and we're moving,
doorway.
yeah, and we're moving the somnium down to the raft and putting the raft kind of in the main pathway
On the
up
dock.
to.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And then Stephanie and Langdon, what are you two doing?
I'm gonna let Stephanie lead the way.
All right, yeah, we're going down to the elevator, the private elevator.
So you walk down the stone stairs, past the dying embers of the big fireplace, past you get a little slippery on the floor as you walk past those freshly waxed floors, and then you enter the kitchen, and through a kind of off door in the kitchen, there's a pantry room, and it's kind of covert, but basically it's a room where some goods are being stored. There's basically it's a nondescript room. It's almost like a dead end hallway. But then at the end, there's a big ornate woven kind of dusty old rug on the floor, and sitting on top of that rug is a elevator platform, a wooden platform. There is a big kind of gear crank on one side, and then a lever kind of has two positions. And this elevator is sitting there, and obviously you would get on and pull the lever, and it would take you up.
Well, looks like you've finally proven some worth here, Stephanie. Thanks for the tip. Are we ready to go upstairs?
Let's do it.
Start cranking that lever. Oh, not cranking the lever. Cranking that crank, I guess.
Okay, so
That soldier boy.
you both jump on the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys get on the platform. You pull the lever and you start to ascend, chomp, 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 and you lift off of the rug and you move up through this shaft. You slowly move until you reach and you start to come up into the Baron's private quarters, and you see this ornately furnished room out before you. And let me pull up an image here real quick. And this is obviously kind of the covert, alternative entrance into his chamber, so that he can probably come and go without being seen, and maybe bring stuff up into his room. And obviously, he's taking some precautions because the basically when you get to the top of this elevator platform, there's a wrought iron cage around it and a door. So you're now in the Baron's chamber, but you're in this wrought iron cage, and it's locked from the outside. But you can see in the room now, so you peek around, you now can see what's going on in there. You see this big grand kind of 4-post bed. It's got these lavish curtains hanging from it. The room is sparsely furnished. It's got one really huge, luxurious, some kind of great beast fur rug that takes up most of the room on the floor. And
Nice.
very exotic and very, very, very luxurious. And then you can also see a desk in one corner and a kind of a big trunk in another corner. And other than that, there's art pieces and, a little decor, but no other real notable features in the room.
Did anyone find a key or anything?
Yeah. Stephanie, do you know of any secret keys you may have had for unlocking this cage?
I don't believe I do.
Yeah, you don't know about a key.
No,
How
don't
far
know
apart
about
is
a key.
Trimerius says, I know of a key.
Wait, where is Tiberius? Is he with us?
If something is mentioned to him, about this, you
What
guys aren't
he
there
would
right now, but that's what he would say if he was there.
I suppose maybe I was talking to Cumberbund about it in lieu of him fucking up the lock on the first door. Was there perhaps a key of some kind that maybe one of us came across in the scuttle?
My father has a key to the manor. It's one of our most prized possessions.
Oh.
He would trade it for my life if you were to return me.
Eh.
We're not holding you hostage. They're part of our crew now.
He's looking, a little tear forms in his eyes. It has been an honor. You saved me, sir. If I can, I will retrieve the key for you. I will return. And he prances off and he runs off into the manor.
Okay.
How far apart are these bars?
On the window outside?
No, on the in the cage that I'm in.
Oh, they're definitely such that Trimerius could walk right through them.
They're, there's space. You can reach your hand through, And when you get to the top of the platform, you see the top of the platform has 2 levers rather than 1. And it's a little more ornate. So if you want me to describe that right now, if you're going to do anything with it, I can. Otherwise, we'll come back to it however you want.
Yeah, I'd love to know more.
Basically, the one downstairs looked like it just had off and on, like 1 and 0, back and forth. This lever seems more complicated. There's one lever that appears like that, and then there's another lever that kind of sits on this dais, almost like a sundial, like it could be spun around. And it also pulls like up and down,
Okay.
So I guess I wish I had a visual, but I'll draw a quick visual for you.
I think I sort of understand.
I don't, because that cut out for me. So, do we have
Yeah,
a...
we can hang tight.
Second, we need to.
Wait, your camera isn't on, Woody. If you're showing us something, it's there. All right.
Here's like the one, it's just like back and forth, And this one is also back and forth, but it's on this little like dais that looks like it rotates around. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
these are in the elevator that we're on,
Correct, yeah.
or these are wings. Okay, and we use the one that just goes back and forth to get up, right?
What's that?
We use the one that just the basic one that's like on off to go up.
Yeah, there was an identical lever to the left lever I showed you, or the, just a second, sorry.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the, where you came from, there was a lever like this that just goes on and off. This one has an additional, looks like it, is more involved. It spins around in addition to going up and down.
I'm gonna spin that lever 90 degrees.
Okay.
And then pull it.
So I guess I'm gonna have to come up with a visual here. Let's jump back to the other 2 guys, and I'll come up with something, and I'll come back in just a second here. So.
All right.
So I guess now that we've finished our fortifications, maybe we should go track down your little friend and see if he's come up with that key.
That's right. Yeah, I think Nereus could help us out a lot. I do not think that the rest of them are out to help us. They're there to protect themselves, but they may hold the key to the Baron's private stash of somnium.
Well, how do you think we should? We can't get Timerius to bring it to us. How are we to go about obtaining it?
I think perhaps using some sort of spell, and but just keep it in mind anyway. I guess maybe there's something we could do to get the rest of the mice warriors on our side, the rest of the kobolds on our side.
Okay, so basically, after a little time, Trimerius reemerges, and he's with Trimerius IV, his father, and he says that he basically has that key with him. He says, "This is our most prized possession. It is the secret weapon of our resistance. If we surrender it to you, we feel ourselves a great disadvantage. We part with it begrudgingly, but we must consider our life debt. It's ended at this. If we give you this gift, you must release my son from your service."
Well, he's free to go if he wishes, although he could very much help us spread the word of the kobolds and their.
Tiberius interrupts and says, "Can't you just lend them the key and take it back afterwards?" The king says, "Quiet, child. I've had an idea. Perhaps we can lend you the key in good faith and send Tiberius here with you."
Aha. Wow, they're very insightful. I see why you're the leader, just like your grandfather.
Okay, so here, I'm bringing up this lever puzzle. Sorry, just a second. So yeah, long story short, you guys have the key now that probably enters that opens that cage. Sweet. Sweet. Got it.
What item?
They've
Okay.
got my key too.
So back to these two. What are you guys up to now?
Stash key.
I guess we were just hanging out in the cage.
Not much to
Yeah.
Do you know what these levers do?
do.
Nope, because I was high on nasty.
Yeah, she didn't take note last time she was in here. I'm gonna put these in the background. Here we go. Okay, so are you guys gonna? You have enough room to step off the platform, but let's back to Langdon and or not Langdon, Jerry and Cumberbund. Where are you guys gonna be here?
I guess we should go track down the other two and see if this key will do any good.
Yeah. Tremurius, did you find any more somnium for the wand, for the arquebus? There are more goblins on the way. The goblin leader, maybe strong.
I didn't think to ask. I was focused on the key.
God damn.
I'm sorry. I'm sure if need comes that my brethren will help you.
Okay.
Maybe we should just focus on the task at hand here.
Yeah.
See what we can get out of the barons.
So
Yep.
for the sake of expediency, I'm just going to assume that you all figure out how to all be at the top of the elevator in the cage. And so you guys are all there now. You have a key with you. You're in this locked up thing, and again, you've got a big bed, you've got a desk, you've got a trunk, you've got a big luxurious fur rug, and that's what you can see from where you're at.
Well, I'm gonna use the key and I'll open up the.
All right,
cage.
you open up this cage and it swings open, and you're now free to explore the Baron's private suites. There are unlit candles and a big chandelier in the middle of the room that could be lowered and lit.
Okay. I'll handle that.
You light the chandelier?
Yeah.
Okay, so you, on Mr. Rope here, tonight's Mr. Rope Man, you untie the thing, lower the chandelier, and you have some matches or something, or?
I think I had like a flint.
Okay.
I had some.
After a little time of hitting this flint and steel, you light up the chandelier, and there's a nice warm glow in this place, and yeah, it's a banging pad. Basically, none of you, I think, could blame Stephanie for being kind of enchanted by the Baron here.
This is romantic as hell.
This is totally the kind of place I'm gonna get.
Big fireplace there. So let's go. Who's feeling a little bit slighted here? Let's say Langdon, you've got a turn to explore something here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to his writing desk and see what's search around there.
Okay. There's a large, ornately carved wooden desk. It has a leather hide of some type stretched out over the top of it to create a smooth surface. And the desk is covered with shreds and scraps of heavy vellum paper that are written on and crumpled up and all this stuff. It's kind of this disorganized desk. There's a bleached white goblin skull that grins underneath several spent candles. Ornate quill pens jut out from both eye sockets and between missing teeth of the goblin skull. Several little clay ink pots have been smashed and spilled against the desk and the walls nearby. And on the kind of on a little dais right in the middle, there is a letter that there is one complete letter arranged and sitting there.
Cool. I'm gonna read it and read it out loud. I found something.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna, for the sake of role playing, I'm gonna send this to you in the chat.
Cool.
Because that's kind of fun, right? If I knew how to do this. Screw it, I'll just read it.
No, I got it. I'll start a chat with you, dude.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Did you get that?
Oh, I got it. Here we go.
Okay, let's see here. A letter from the Baron. My dear friend, that must mean me. I have written this letter 100 times, and 100 times I have unwritten it. Even now, as I force my pen to page, my heart swells and waves and breaks against the cliffs to my soul. I weep, for I no longer hold hope that this letter will reach you. In fact, I know in the truth I could not write as I now do if he and I both didn't know it. It will never be sent. And since my cry shall remain silent and still, locked in the drawer of ink on this scroll, I will tell you that I am not a brave man as you are. You showed me that it meant to be what it meant to be brave, and I held you in such boyish regard, a hero of the green hills, a living legend. You carved a path in this wild that I might have paved and widened, and it was not to be. I could not be as you are. I'm shamed. I am a castaway in the middle of bliss and pain. It is a cruel step of fate to those so close to us, can drift so far from our care, yet remain in arm's reach. It is a cruel step of fate that I should thirst for honor so greatly, and
It got cut off for some reason, but I'll just read the rest of it here.
cool.
It is a cruel step of fate that those so close to us can drift so far from our care, yet remain in arm's reach. It is a cruel step of fate that I should thirst for honor so greatly, and by my thirst be driven to drink the salt waters of a betrayer's tears. But the clock has chimed, and I am as I am. I will bury you beside my father, and your line will join with mine. And if I cannot be brave, then I will be feared, and brave men like you will die dreamless in my keep. Signed, B.R. Julius Gladwell.
Must be intended for Reinhardt.
No, it's absolutely intended for me. You see how it's addressed, dear friend. He talks of a brave fellow who carves through the green hills, and then he tried to kill us. That's why those goblins are here. No, you're right. It might be for Reinhardt.
Okay, let's go to Stephanie. You are recalling a hidden stash of nasty that the Baron keeps tucked at the headboard of his bed. And as you recall it, you have to have a will save to keep you from going and getting into the stash.
All right. What do I need to do to do that?
It's now, I think it's still a DC 12 for you, because I think you made your will save previously. Do you remember? Because basically, every time you...
I made one, and then I didn't make one.
So then we're at a DC 13 for the Somnium. So make a DC 13 will save to not go and fall into your old habits here.
Okay. I lost... Oh, I found it. Okay. Oh, ouch. I got a 2.
Okay. So, Stephanie, you briefly... I'm strong. I can do this. I don't need nasty. And just basically immediately afterwards, they see you bolt for the bed. And, yeah, you guys all whip running over to this big plush bed.
Then someone grab her.
I did it last time.
All right, if you want to try to grab it, make an attack roll, basically.
Okay, I'll try and grab her this time. And I got a 16.
Okay, you grab her by the wrist.
Okay.
And you guys dialogue for a minute. Go.
Let go with me.
Someone else grab her other wrist.
Don't you dare.
I got it.
Can I use intimidate on Sam to try to let him let go of me, or can I try to intimidate Sam into letting go of me?
Yeah, go for it. Make your roll there. Sam, you make an
All right.
Charisma.
Yeah.
What do I do?
You're gonna. So you have. I think you do have intimidate skill, so it should be on your sheet.
I do. I have a big intimidate skill.
Okay, so you roll your d20 and you add your intimidation skill bonus.
Oh man. Okay. Well, low roll. So I got a 9.
All right. What do you try to intimidate him? And keep in mind you didn't roll very high.
Yeah. You son of a bitch! Let me go.
Sam rolled a natural 20, so he has a chance to say something fatherly and whatever to you now.
Young lady, I've dealt with my fair share of miscreants, and I'm really not impressed at all with your tactic here, trying to scare me.
Now give her some sage advice there, Jerry.
I think it's time
Talk
to
her down.
I think it's time to clean up your life, and if it takes physically restraining you from your self-destructive habits, then so be it.
And you guys can
You're not my dad.
anticipate she was headed to grab some stash and ST from the bed there.
Okay.
Cumberbund.
I'm gonna try and use a sleight of hand to try and trade out one of my shitty potions for some ST.
Oh, you go over there. Okay, so you go over to the bed thing and make a
Go
sleight of
ahead
hand check.
and go ahead and destroy it all, Cumberbund.
You find a little shelf and there's a couple bottles of ST in there. We're gonna say there's 3 bottles there.
Okay. Yeah, I've got. Let's see. All right. Oh man, I got 10. Yeah, 10.
All right, you kind of clank around and they hear you clanking around. And
What's taking so long?
What are these bottles? They're weird. I haven't seen these before.
so you swap out for some of your.
So I have 2 shill potions. So basically, I'm gonna take all 3 of the nasties and leave the 2 shill potions in there, and then kind of back away.
Okay. Yeah. So you drop 2 show potions in their place, and now you can have 3 nasty potions tucked away in your person there.
Cool.
I'm going to insist that he destroys what I believe are the potion or the nasty.
Okay. I'm gonna smash one on the ground.
But now I know that he has it, right? So I'm gonna lunge. I didn't see the sleight of hand, right? But Sam says that. I know. I'm lunging. Or Jerry says that.
Yeah, you can make a perception against his sleight of hand. So wisdom-based roll to see if you notice that he's.
My wisdom is garbage, but if Jerry says out loud, you should smash those, then I know that they exist, right?
I think he was saying it about the ones that he thinks are that are presumed to be the net. I mean, you guys explain.
Yeah,
if I got it wrong.
I did not realize that he switched them, so I'm just insisting that he destroys what I believe are his the nest.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I just want to try to drink it.
Yeah.
The ones that are still there. I'm just drinking it.
But he's got you on hold. You have to do a post-strength check to break free of his grasp here.
Oh, right. All right. Let's do it.
Strength there, Jerry.
I got a 12.
I got an 8.
All right, so you struggle, but you don't quite pull free in time, and presumably he smashes those bottles. You smash the shield potions.
I'll leave them there.
Okay, he doesn't smash them. They're still sitting there on the bed stand there.
It's too dangerous to leave those out.
Well, let's see. Yeah, they're almost certainly dangerous, but maybe they're valuable. Maybe we could sell them.
I don't know. I feel like it may do more harm than good with Stephanie in our midst.
I'll trade you for my candle.
I've already got. I don't need candles. I'm half an elf. I don't need that.
Langdon, back me up on this.
I'm gonna smash the bottles that are sitting on the bureau.
Oh shit! All right, Langdon smashes the bottles to Stephanie's despair, but she's now relieved from temptation.
There's no purpose to have these around, and I think squabbling about it is getting us nowhere just as well. So, may as well someone take decisive action.
You would, you jabron.
With what we believe to be the nasty smashed, I'm going to let Stephanie go.
Okay. Stephanie, you also know that behind a mirror nearby, this mirror like behind this old chest to the left, that the Baron has a secret safe.
I'm going to.
All right,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go directly to that space. I'm not gonna say anything to anyone about it.
Okay.
Just gonna go.
So you've seen this happen before. You click open the, you pull this little switch, you click open, and you like swing open the mirror, and inside you find several items on a little shelf there. You find a like a leather scroll case, and you also find a big like kind of golden token, and you find there's a little pouch, a little velvet pouch as well.
All right. Can I wait? Sorry, what was the first one?
It's a big leather scroll case, like a big like
Got it. Yeah.
Tubular canister.
I want to greedily snatch them all up. They're all in my. I'm cradling them in my arms.
You got them. And you guys witness her doing this. She goes over there, but yeah, she scoops all this stuff out from behind this spot that she knew about.
Damn.
And so Stephanie, inside this velvet pouch are 10 somnium pieces. Big effing money, in other words. Like,
Yeah.
that's dank cash. And then there's also this golden token, and then the scroll case, and it's kind of asinine, but I'm gonna wait until you want to inspect them to describe them.
I'm not doing anything with them right now. I just want to kind of be like hoarding them in front of me, trying to gauge the group's reaction, looking shifty-eyed at everyone else.
I want to, after releasing Stephanie, maybe not fully paying attention to what she's doing, I want to get the shaker's paw out to detect where the somnium's at.
Oh yeah. Well, when you do that, you see it pointing at Stephanie's little bundle of stuff that she just grabbed.
Okay. What you got there, Stephanie?
Nothing. This is mine. I earned this.
You earned nothing.
Well, maybe if you would have let me have my nasty.
I did you.
And then I want to like scuttle away. I'm scuttling to the other side of the room from Jerry.
All right, you scuttle past the bed, past the chest, and over by the cage.
Okay. I'm gonna let it go for now.
And Cumberbund, it's your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take a look inside. Is there like a dresser?
There's like a chest, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, I forgot to mention this, Langdon, but you found when searching through the desk, there are some writing materials there and things if you're interested in that.
Some writing materials?
Writing materials, including the Baron's, signet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to take some of that stuff. The signet, like the quill that is in the goblin head, and does he have like paper that has like a like some really nice paper?
Yeah, he's got some really nice vellum paper and nice inks and stuff. But most significantly, in this is
the signet.
Which you recognize. You know enough about the upper crusts of society and about bureaucracy and such that exists in the Veldt that this is a magical device, this signet. And so it's like a little wax stamp, essentially, but you can tell this is a Somnium artifact. This is something that was made from Somnium.
Oh, nice.
And you don't really know entirely what it does, but it's like fancy stuff to have this, and it's like part of the, it's a significant artifact to this barony, basically.
Sure. I'm going to take the nice paper, the nice ink, all that stuff, as well as the Somnium signet.
I want it all.
And yeah, it's got his mark on it. Basically, it can be used to seal wax, but you think it might have other purposes.
Cool. Figure that out later.
And you just had a
Furniture malfunction. Okay.
almost happened.
That's happened to me before, but not that dramatically. Okay, Cumberbund, it's your turn.
All right. I wanna look over. I wanna look in the chest. Pretty hilarious the way it just like slowly near fall.
So you go over and you throw open this chest, and inside the chest there is this ornate, wooden box, like a smaller box inside this chest, like a little, like, very precisely engineered and carved, like wooden box with brass hinges and everything.
Mm-hmm. What size is it? Yeah.
About like 1 by
Like a shoe box.
like shoe box, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll set that on the ground beside. And what else is in there?
Nothing else in there.
That's it. Okay.
Actually, there's one of the Baron's coats is in there. One of his like fancy red coats.
Right. Yeah.
So write that on your character sheet if you're gonna take that.
Yeah. I'll at least wrap it up in my bag.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'd take a look at. Is the box locked? Or?
It's got a little latch, but it's not locked.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pop her open.
All right, you pop it open, and inside you're hit by kind of a bright red, as there's this, bright red velvet interior of this box, and you see your mouth waters as you take a look at a short culverin wand. It's kind of pictures something that looks like a cross between like a horse pistol and like it's a wand. That's what they call them in this world. But it's an ornate weapon of war, a small like thing. It's got a heavy brass ball at the bottom, and basically this is a nicer and more compact version of the harquebus gun type of thing, And basically the stats for this is that the heavy brass ball is weighted just right for smashing heads and crushing sternums and stuff. It bludgeons for 2d4 damage.
Okay.
And if you insert a somnium gem into the chamber, you'll have 2 blasts for like, just like as a ranged attack.
Okay.
And those will be at 2d6 damage. This is a very fancy weapon, basically.
Is it like piercing damage?
Yeah, it would be like piercing damage or like magic damage or something.
Okay.
And yeah.
Cool. What'd you call it again?
A culverin wand, Culverin.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick that in my waistband.
Okay.
Yeah, that one, there's a good chance that
Yeah, no, I just was typing this up because that. Okay. Whoever wants an action can have it.
Stick it in the back here.
Langdon, you think it might be a good time to check out the. I completely forgot to mention one of the most important things in the room here. As you're doing this, it has gotten quite late, and you see on the wall there's this very interesting looking grandfather clock standing in the corner, and I'm going to give Jerry the chance to investigate this.
Okay, I'm going to approach it to take a closer look. It's quite peculiar to my eye, and first I'll kind of wave the shaker's paw in front of it, see if it reacts at all. A cuckoo clock.
So this is this big clock, and it you can tell it's basically a miniature of the manor in very fine detail. It's like exceptional craftsmanship. Must have been custom made. It stands in this, kind of on this tall grandfather kind of pedestal, and you can see the depiction of guards and all this stuff. It's it's eerily realistic, basically. And you see it up at the top would be, basically where you all are in the upper rooms of the manor, and then it's got these counterweights that run the clock.
Okay. Is it
Does it have?
currently like have the weights been pulled so that they are currently keeping the clock
Yeah,
running?
the clock it's ticking.
Okay. I'm going to manually move the minute hand forward so that it strikes an hour.
Okay, yeah. So basically, it's like fairly late. You know, let's say it's like 10 o'clock or something, and you move this thing ahead. And as you move it, like basically in response to your forcing the hands, one of these pendulums descends. And at the hour, then there's just like, dong, and then this little trumpeter comes out, this little like hunting, figure like that's how the hour chimes,
Okay.
There's this little cavalier that comes out and blows his little trumpet and then marches back inside,
Must be quite annoying if you're trying to sleep in here. Okay, can I search the clock then?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if there's any day 20.
You can kind of like search around it, but you don't really notice any more details than what I mentioned. It's it's not a magical device, but it's a fantastic reproduction of the barony itself,
Okay.
and it's got, there's a little kind of, you can see it's got this little scene going on right there at the ground level, and it's just quite, it's a rare artifact, and for, this, and then it's got these pendulums hanging down, below.
Okay.
And you guys kind of puzzle over this for a second. I'm going to take a quick quiz. But I guess I'll just say, for kind of added flair, this object seems significant, basically.
Okay.
If I didn't have to say that, I probably don't.
Well, Langdon, you think there's anything peculiar about this clock?
I mean, it's no exact reproduction. This is in the real manor. There's a giant hole in the south wall. It is nice though. I don't know. I wonder how big it is. Can we take it with us?
Yeah, it would
Or
make a nice addition on the ship.
I really want to take that bear skin on the ship. Have a nice place to rest my feet during the voyage. The bearskin rug.
Well, we're talking about maybe removing the clock.
How big is it?
It's big. It's like as tall as a person.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Can we open it up and look inside of it?
Yeah, if you pop it open, you see the kind of, gear works that are going on inside, the guts of it, so to speak. And I guess Jerry's kind of handy. He's had some experience with machines and things, and one thing I guess that he could take from this design is that he certainly doesn't think it would have to have been designed so that the pendulums that hang below were so obviously prominent. Like, typically they would have been inside the body of the, thing. But they, for whatever reason, the designer intentionally left them, visible and outside the thing here.
That's odd.
And
Maybe they're supposed to be pulled.
When you turn the clock forward, one of the pendulums descended.
So
Maybe they're supposed to be pulled there, Jerry.
So it descended when I did that, then would it need to be reset then, where I need to pull it out back up?
No, it's
Just descended somewhat, but not totally.
Yeah. It's not at its full extension either. It's not like at the depth of its path, and and for the sake of expediency, if you push it forward here, presumably it's going to reach its apex, or it's whatever the opposite of an apex would be, with midnight, like with the stroke of midnight, basically.
Okay. Well, I do think it's peculiar that these counterweights are so prominently displayed. I wonder if there's some significance there. I guess I'll keep winding the minute hand forward until we hit midnight.
So yeah, as you grind the thing to midnight, the trumpeter comes out again, and the clock is positioned at midnight, and as it comes out, this thing chunk 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 descends low to the bottom of its course. Basically, this thing descends below the little miniature there.
Okay, so then now it's completely it would need to be pulled. The weight would need to be pulled back up for it to be active again.
No, it's just that's kind of the curious thing, is that these weights don't seem to have anything to do with the operation of the clock itself.
Okay.
You don't know what they're significant of, but they're not actually they're not part of the mechanical function of the clock.
Oh. Would there maybe be some relevant knowledge check or something to?
Yeah, I think we could start. If we're there, we could start resorting to some knowledge checks.
Knowledge.
What kind of knowledge we got going around here, guys? We got some knowledge.
I've got I'd have more nautical knowledge, boat stuff.
Who's got the highest intelligence here?
Probably Langdon.
Well, definitely not me.
Yeah, I might. Let me look here. I've got a 16 intelligence. Yeah.
All right, well, make a little roll for us and see if you have any bursts of inspiration. Ryan.
11.
Well, you do think that it would be strange that this miniature would be done in such ornate and precise detail, and that these things on the outside would have no function, basically,
Yeah. But pulling them doesn't do anything?
No.
Okay. Pulling them down doesn't do anything. I'm going to try to are they hollow? Can you bang them together?
Yeah, you could bang them together, but that doesn't seem to be significant.
Has the other weight moved at all? It's just one? There's two weights, or is that just the picture?
There's two weights. I mean,
I suppose maybe the weights are just more symbolic. If it's if the clock's been done in such great detail.
I'm gonna go ahead and as a DM say you're getting warm with that. Yeah, that's you're warm.
They must represent something in the actual real world, seeing as how everything else that is cosmetic about this clock has been done with such care and such great detail. I think since these are serving no purpose, they must represent something something we've looked past outside of the manor here.
Does it seem to line up with where the elevator is?
Yes. If you're talking about inference from the miniature to the real world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think what we should do is we should figure out that lever, and we should turn it so that the levers face the hour of midnight, and then pull the levers, and maybe the elevator will take us all the way down into some sort of basement or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
We got consensus on that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So with this model in mind, you go and you all stand on the platform, Trimerius included, and you put the left lever to the upright position, and then you also crank around the second lever and then push it into the
Under the 12 o'clock position.
12 o'clock position. And as you do so, you feel the second lever click, and the elevator begins to descend. And chunk, 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 you go down and down and down and down. and finally the elevator comes to rest, and it is cold and dank at the bottom of this chamber, and you see ahead of you a stone arched kind of catacomb hallway that leads off into the distance, and torches light the way. And with that, we end our session tonight. But let's do
Nice.
our customary circle around, and everybody gets their little talking head. And we'll start with Dr. Cumberbund. We'll go through us, and then we'll go to you guys.
Well, it seems pretty clear now that this Baron is not what he seemed to be, and he sure as hell isn't on our side. So, in that case, fuck him. We're on our side, and he is pretty much going to give us whatever he's got. He's not around, and we're going to take it. I like this coat. Maybe I can dye it. I don't know if red's really my color, but things are starting to come together. My wardrobe is getting back to where I wanted it to be, and I'm ready to smash some heads in with this little thing right here. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Okay. Well, after all we've been through this evening to get where we are, I'm a little upset that I left the Baron's room empty-handed, considering the favor I did for Stephanie, keeping her clean and all. She had the nerve to pocket all the Baron's goods for herself. But maybe in time she'll learn to appreciate the friends she's been making. I too am a little concerned about the Baron and his relationship with Reinhardt. I think we've found ourselves in the midst of some sort of turf war or some sort of family feud. I haven't been able to quite put my finger on it yet, but I'm certain we'll get to the bottom of this.
And with that, I'm going to interject and say that let's take this opportunity to kind of just explore the rest of the hall here a little bit. Stephanie, you can almost smell the kind of resentment in the elevator from coming off of Jerry. And you kind of go in your pocket. You got a nice fat stack of somnium on your person now, but you have these two other things that you found. You take a little closer look at them, unless you're super opposed to it.
No, let's do it. Let's look at the stuff. Look at the satchel and the
So
what else do I have here? Other scroll case.
If you open the scroll case and you dump out the contents, you find first a ornate document that is titled Gladwell Orders of Crenellation, and you don't know.
Wait, sorry, say again.
It says on this big, ornate document that's kind of covered in runes and has a special seal on it. It says Gladwell Barony Orders of Crenellation.
All right.
You have no idea what that means.
Got it.
So you're kind of like, okay, whatever. You tuck that back in, and then you find this tube, like another tube inside of this paper wrapped up, and it's like a kind of a paper scroll. It's sealed with this gem on there, and it seems magical in nature, and you also don't know what that is either. So who knows? And then there's also this coin, this big coin, and as you take a look at it, it depicts some kind of strange craft floating on the river, and basically it looks like a big giant riverboat, like kind of stamped into this golden coin. And it says on there, on the top it says Anders Floating Pleasure Palace, and then underneath it says good for one rough tumble, and then in parentheses it says gentle, loving, negotiable. And yeah.
All right.
So your turn, Stephanie.
All right. I'm okay. I'm very, very happy with all of my newfound possessions. I'm thankful for Jerry for saving me, but still a little bit resentful because I'm mostly just an addict who wanted that nasty. But I'm coming around. big coin with a riverboat. That's gonna remind Stephanie of some sort of death passage from common lore. But then the quote is you know
This is not
out there.
a quote as it is like it indicates the value of the coin.
All right, and
Good
oh,
for you.
and I'm like rich as garbage now, so I'm stoked on that. I can get all the nasty I want. I'm worried about this Grizz. He was a big thing. He hasn't shown up yet. I'm concerned about him. I'm like, is he just the Baron? And that's that. Worried about Grizz. Got all my possessions. I'm loaded.
All right. Moving on to Langdon to close us off for the night.
There is something funny that's going around here. How that goblin got a hold of Reinhardt's amulet. How the Baron had this strange letter to myself or to someone like myself. And then all the this other shit with the guards disappearing again right before a goblin fight or right after the fight, unable to help us. They're all very curious, and now that I've got this this signet and this paper, I might be able to make my way up in the world without this Baron's help, or at least not directly without their help. And so maybe we should just go ahead and take him for all he's worth.
And just to reiterate, you guys have stumbled upon some secret underground, hereto unknown portion of the Gladwell barony, and it's ominous to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I think that closes our game for tonight. Thanks for playing, everybody, and have a good one. And we'll be back doing our regular routine next week. Full minis. Although this was a fun departure, doing a little more if you didn't mind was also cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks, Woody.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Good night.
See y'all.